The question that light asked me, no human being is capable of answering easily. It was 1974. 5 days before my 20th birthday, my life ended on a lonely road. But what happened after I closed my eyes wasn't the void. I was hurled into a universe where stars are conscious beings and where time is a disposable illusion. My name is Mark. Back then, life felt infinite. I lived in Edinburgh, and at 19, my only concern was the future I was building with Sarah. She was my world. That summer, we took my old 1970 Mustang and headed north. I remember the scent of the pine trees, the golden light of the Scottish sun, and the sound of Sarah's laughter. Everything seemed perfect. Nothing suggested that this would be the last day of my life as I knew it. But a simple distraction, a second where I turned to look at her, and our fate was sealed. The car in front of us had stopped dead. The collision was inevitable. In that exact moment, everything began to flow in slow motion. I watched the front of the Mustang crumple, the metal folding like paper. I saw the windshield shatter into a million diamonds of glass floating in the air. Time as we know it simply ceased to exist. I slammed onto the asphalt. I could feel my body, but it felt distant, like an object that no longer belonged to me. A violent surge of pain tore through me, but then a strange confusion set in. My mind was observing the scene from above. I saw the nurses rushing toward us. I heard their distant cries, muffled as if they were underwater. The smell of gasoline was everywhere, thick and heavy. I managed to gasp for air one last time, and then I felt the wave of unconsciousness take me. I didn't fight it. I surrendered. Suddenly, I was in a place that was dark, empty, and void. Absolute blackness. But I wasn't afraid. I realized I no longer had a body. I had no weight, no breath. I existed only as a point of pure consciousness. Many call this the void. To me, it didn't feel like nothingness. It felt full of potential. It was in this darkness that my first thought emerged. Sarah. I was worried about her. I felt a deep sadness, a barrier preventing me from helping her. And then a voice emerged. It didn't come from my mind, it came from outside. It carried an authority and a gentleness so powerful it vibrated in my core. The voice said, "It's all right. They will be fine. Nothing can hurt them." The being speaking to me wasn't just giving an opinion. He known. He spoke to a part of me that already remembered this truth. As soon as I accepted it, I felt a sudden movement. I began a steady ascent. I heard a rhythmic sound like the blades of a helicopter starting to spin. Metallic rings appeared all around me, luminous containers forming a corridor of light. I was accelerating at a rate that would be impossible on Earth. Fear tried to surface, but it vanished instantly, replaced by absolute stillness. The tunnel disappeared. Suddenly, I was floating in the vastness of cosmic space. I felt gigantic. Around me, the stars weren't just lights, they were conscious beings. The entire universe was awake, permeated with life. My only feeling was, I am home. I am safe. I realized time was gone. I watched those stars communicating, not with words, but through a direct transfer of love and thoughts. I felt my ego fall away. They gave me 3 messages. They already knew me, they were happy to see me, and I was deeply, infinitely loved. I was no longer a person. I was a beloved soul, enveloped in the energy of home. In the midst of this harmony, a low rumble echoed from the distance. From a dark region of space, I saw a massive spherical rock rolling slowly toward me. This was no ordinary object. It had a will. It felt timeless, older than the universe itself. I knew this encounter was destined. It was an ancient sentinel fulfilling a commitment made at the beginning of time. As it drew near, I didn't feel a collision. I felt an invitation into something even greater. Suddenly, I was suspended in pure light. It was absolute love, unrestricted and limitless. This light had a personality, a presence that flowed through every fiber of my being. I became a being of light myself, fused with this great presence. Then came the review. There was no judgment, only total exposure to love. This consciousness searched through me, evaluating my vibrations and emotions. It was a beautiful process of being known in my entirety. And then, everything boiled down to one single question, the foundation of existence. The being asked me, "What have you done with your ability to love?" It wasn't about romance, it was about the frequency of my soul. How much of that pure, divine love had I allowed to flow through me while I was on Earth? That question echoed through the universe, and I realized that this is the only thing we truly take with us. A great silence fell. The stars began to fade. To my left, the ancient rock drifted back into deep space. It sent me one final thought. I will see you again. I will find you later. Then I heard a voice. It was a woman calling my name. It sounded like my grandmother. She told me to wake up, that it was time to go. I murmured that I didn't feel well, and I opened my eyes. I was in an ambulance. The pain rushed back. The smell of gasoline was still there, clinging to my clothes in a plastic bag next to my hospital bed. For years, I told no one. I feared people would think I was crazy, but I knew that the light was more real than the world I live in now. Sarah survived too, and though our lives took different paths, that experience never left me. We are never alone, and when we leave this world, we only take the answer to that one question. So I ask you today, what have you done with your ability to love?
If Mark's journey touched your heart or made you reflect on your own life, please consider giving this video a like. It helps these messages of hope reach more people who might be searching for answers. And if you want to explore more extraordinary stories from the other side, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. We are a community dedicated to exploring the mysteries of the soul, and we'd love to have you with us. What Mark experienced on that Scottish road in 1974 is more than just a remarkable story. It is a profound piece of a much larger puzzle. When we look at thousands of near-death experiences across different cultures and eras, certain patterns emerge that are impossible to ignore. First, there is the void, that space of pure potential. Many survivors describe it as a place where the noise of the physical world finally stops, allowing the soul to hear its own truth. Mark's description of the conscious stars and the ancient rock suggests a universe that is far more alive and interconnected than our science currently understands. He experienced what physicists might call a non-local consciousness, where distance and time simply don't exist. But perhaps the most striking part of his testimony is the question. Notice how the light didn't ask about his career, his bank account, or his mistakes. In almost every deep NDE, the focus is always on the quality of our relationships and the vibration of our love. This aligns perfectly with the life review reported by others, where people don't just see their lives, they feel the impact of their actions on others. Mark's story reminds us that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. The essence of love isn't a grand, poetic idea. It's the kindness we show in small moments. It's the capacity to forgive, to empathize, and to connect. If Mark is right, and we are indeed beloved souls heading toward a cosmic home, then how we live today matters more than we can imagine. What about you? If you were standing before that light today, how would you answer? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one of them. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep looking beyond the horizon.